Vaush is the third largest left-leaning political streamer. He views himself as an intellectual mastermind.
My moral principles are rock solid.
I feel like I've outpaced him intellectually.
He sexually harassed a girl and then said she doesn't even deserve basic human rights.
Poppy is not worth apologizing to. She is barely worth the intrinsic human rights to which all human beings are endowed, okay? She is a disgusting human being. And that doesn't mean what I did wasn't wrong. It does mean I will never apologize to her.
Or outright rewriting history so he could accuse his critics of the most horrible things.
When he was doing his, like, apologia arc and, like, laughing and saying that, like, a woman who was a retarded child.
He thinks he's so smart that he actively tries to justify for CP, just for fun.
It is possible for an adult and a child to have a sexual relationship and for it to have positive outcomes on the child as well.
Pedophiles, right, who buy child pornography, would you say they should not be held responsible for doing that?
Yes. I would not say that it is unethical for a person to purchase child pornography.
Making fun of Asmund for watching the pedo show Dragon Maid.
Dragon Maid, king of pedophile animes. I'm not watching this shit.
While accidentally leaking his lolly folder.
This is an example of the kind of structure that I'm referring to.
And having his girlfriend draw the exact same childish anime character, with eyes rolled into the back of her head, mouth open, blushing. In his folder is a character that is 12 years old, as well as other young depictions of girls sucking horse wieners. Vaush wants to be a horse, by the way.
I'll make it clear. You can write this down. I want to fuck a woman as a horse. None of this is a secret. To be clear, you know, many jokes have been made about this, but I stand by it. My moral principles are rock solid. My feet are firmly planted in the ground.
Since this has all been exposed, Vaush has been posting about Midna, the childish girl from Zelda, saying she's hot, asking people in Discord if they've ever abused a minor, and then saying hot when someone says they were a victim. This is a journey into the deepest, darkest corners of hypocrisy, dishonesty, and degeneracy. This is Vaush.
Why do you want to be the horse, Vaush? Because then I'd have a giant dick. Okay, couldn't you have a big dick the other way? Well, yeah, I could. Like, yeah, I could have a big dick hypothetically in any variety of scenarios, but then it wouldn't really be a horse dick. Well, you could be a human with a horse dick, yes, but then I wouldn't have that powerful stallion energy using it.
Who saves that sort of thing to their desktop that they also stream with? That's a huge security risk, similar to how data brokers steal your information and sell it to spammers and scammers online. Your full name, home address, health records, relatives, it's all out there. It all gets stolen when you try and download shady horse photos. I'm just looking out for you, Vaush. That's why I use Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura automatically submits opt-out requests to these sites, which would otherwise be impossible for you to do. As you can see, I've had over 18 data brokers selling my phone number online, leading to these annoying robocalls hitting my phone up 5 times a day. This not only reduces the amount of spam I get, but it also protects me from hackers who could use this information to access my social media or bank accounts. I also get other features like an antivirus, a VPN, a password management system, and more without having to download all these other apps. It's all in one place. You may have 1 or 2 of these tools already, but not having Aura is like locking your front door but leaving the back wide open, and at a price that comes much cheaper. You can go to aura.com/WillyMac to start your 14-day free trial to see if your information is getting leaked. It's the age of the internet, it probably is. Thank you, Aura, for sponsoring this video.
I love hentai. I need hentai in my life. All day, I love hentai.
You see, talking about CP is very important to Vaush. He does it year after year.
If the offender is consuming child porn without paying for it, if you're not paying for child porn, if you're just getting it, there is no moral or legal argument against that. That doesn't also, like, rope in you guys for the things that you have purchased. I would never make the argument that somebody who doesn't pay for child pornography but consumes in any way has committed an immoral act.
I would not say that it is unethical for a person to purchase child pornography or purchase blood diamonds. We've all jerked it to Lolly at some point or another. We have at some point in our lives been going crazy on some hentai site, and we've been stroking as hard and fast as we can, and then after we nut, we go back, look over our history tab, and we go like, oh geez, oh boy, some of these girls looked pretty young. Okay, I don't give a fuck.
He's debated Mr. Girl, who was banned for being openly attracted to 11-year-olds.
When I remember your review of Cuties, and my problem with Cuties is making those kids do the type of entertainment. I think it's wrong, whether it's legally right. I'm not the free
I think it's wrong too.
Yeah,
I think I said that in the review.
Why did you say the girls were attractive? And maybe I misunderstood. Okay.
No, because they were. But listen.
During the debate, Vaush said that the most popular strip club for men in America would probably be 14 to 17 years old.
In one strip club, the strippers are 25, 24, 23, 22, all the way down to infants. Which club is the most popular? Let's say men, straight men are going, and they're women.
Culturally, I don't think that we've done anything to appropriately discourage that kind of predatory behavior towards girls. So my guess is that it would be somewhere between 14 to 17.
He got away with this for years because Vaush would always say it was out of context, but the conversation would resurface when Vaush would leak his Lolly folder. Lolly is anime that focuses on younger or young-looking girl characters that act sexually suggestive or erotic. Vaush has been very harsh towards people who consume Lolly, saying that they're probably hiding something.
I've had a bunch of links thrown at me by people who are, again, very sussy, trying to argue there's not actually a relationship between instances of child predation and access to like lolicon or whatever.
Well, I would assume there is a correlation between people who really want to believe that and people who are pedophiles. So
yeah, I'd be willing to bet that the widespread consumption of hentai, lolicon, whatever, you know. I still think that it normalizes quite negative things, you know.
We have at some point in our lives been going crazy on some hentai site, and we've been stroking as hard and fast as we can, and then after we nut, we go back, look over our history tab, and we go like, oh geez, oh boy, some of these girls looked pretty young. Okay, I don't give a all right?
Crazy to think he wasn't joking here.
If you're into lolicon, like, people always say this. People always say, bro, it's just drawings. Okay, drawings of what, right? Civil War, okay, states' rights over what, you know? Why are you into that? What elements of that are you into, you know? And I think there's no way to answer those questions without at least being somewhat introspective about the underlying issues.
It made people wonder if he was projecting. Suddenly screaming out of context was no longer a good excuse. And Ethan would destroy that narrative.
Why is the possession of child pornography immoral? Because it hurts people to make child pornography, yeah? Because you have to hurt children to make it. That's why it's immoral. It's not magically immoral. It's immoral because of the harm that is caused by it. So, do we not possess other things that
you sound like someone who's trying to rationalize child abuse.
Like, the argument that I was making essentially is that people are inconsistent in their moral outrage at commodities which hurt people when they're produced.
Okay.
So, people will laugh off cocoa butter or chocolate or you know, or cobalt or other, you know, products that we tend to get through a really, really unethical system, but then they're really, really quick to denounce child porn.
This man says you eat chocolate and you dare to care about child pornography. That's what his point is, right? Those things can be produced ethically. Mm-hmm. Child pornography cannot.
Yeah, the huge difference is one product is a phone where the abuse is taking place somewhere in the raw materials phase. The other one is grown men getting off to pictures of abuse. If you take out the abuse when manufacturing a phone, the end product is still a phone. Whereas with CP, the abuse is the product. It sounds like an argument only a pedo would make. Vaush has been making this argument for years. His audience loves it.
I stand by that, and I'll continue to stand by that until I hear good.
But you believe that some consumerism is more ethical than others, right? Not all consumerism is equal, right? It's not all equally unmoral, right?
I would argue that in the sense as to its outcomes, yes, obviously there are some forms of consumption that are less ethical than others. But in terms of what it means for an individual's like ethical state, I would not argue there's a difference. I would not argue that there is anything wrong. And I see somebody disbelief in super chats. I would not say that it is unethical for a person to purchase child pornography or purchase blood diamonds, because I don't see a major difference between that and, again, buying a computer with silicon that was mined up by literal child slaves.
This is the supposed context everyone thinks is missing.
People don't know where the diamonds come from. People don't know where the cobalt come from. People don't know where the chocolate comes from in most cases.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, there is ethical versions you can buy. But like
the average person
CP
is not going to know.
Is suffering and exploitation. That's what it is. That's what you're buying.
And Vaush still has a phone, a computer. He drinks coffee. If it's all the same to him, does that mean he has actual CP somewhere next to his tax folder?
Pedophiles, right, who buy child pornography. Would you say they should not be held responsible for doing that?
Yes.
Really? Even though they're directly supporting child rape?
Yeah, I think it's hypocritical. If I because I bought my computer and the silicon in it was farmed in Africa by slaves. If I can do that, and that's legal, and no one's going to call me out in my shit, then yeah, I have to be consistent in that respect.
So he owns CP. Cool. Boy, you really showed us with that superior moral consistency. Vaush's response to all of this was to say it's all out of context.
For those of you who don't know, Ethan Klein and his friends over in the H3 pod dedicated about 2 hours of the podcast to doing like the platonic ideal of a bad faith Vaush is a takedown, including like everything, like 5 years ago, like stuff that's been addressed so long that, I mean, I didn't see it. I saw people in my Discord talk about it. I didn't want to watch it myself, partly because it would just make me upset.
Yes, you heard that right. Vaush is making the argument Ethan took him out of context, but he didn't even watch the stream.
Why is it a recurring thing that you get accused of? Well, for the most part, I think it's just because people hate me. I got the impression I got a really bad rap, and I feel like a lot of the stuff that I've said looks pretty bad without context, but the frustration is that I am very presently defending all of it, or adding context, or, you know, correcting deliberate dishonesty.
What do Sneeko, Fresh, and Fit, Hassan, and Vaush all have in common? When facing legitimate criticism, they will never engage with specific points. They'll just always vaguely say that you're lying, hoping their audience blindly believes them.
This is one of those situations where you have to appreciate the fact that I must be pretty great for people to have to lie that much and that aggressively to try to take me down.
Making up lies to discredit Ethan.
I think at some point he was like, huh, as if I would ever be friends with this, which is really disingenuous because the last time we talked on Twitter DMs, he was really friendly to me. Ethan said that I had like a folder full of CP or something. What the f?
Where did Ethan say this? I don't remember him saying that. I can't find it in the transcripts, but I guess he did because Vaush said so. Vaush's defense for the lolly in his folder is absurd.
I was gonna open up an image with right-click, open a new window, but instead I did right-click, save as, and it opened a folder called To Be Sorted. The To Be Sorted folder, which is where I put images that have yet to be sorted, and in case the name didn't indicate that, was the place that it went to because the file type of the image, which was like, I don't know, JPEG or something? Oh, fuck, I don't know.
He's making this sound so complicated when all people want to know is why you have a folder full of lolly.
The last image that I saved to the To Be Sorted folder was an image of Marcel from Dungeon Meshi being roasted by, Gordon Ramsay while cooking a mandrake.
To be clear, it's all porn, with 3 more folders that contain more porn.
Hold on. Let me show you the architect of my pain. There we go. It's a good anime, guys, and a good manga. Anyway, I saved that there.
This picture isn't even one of the leaked images. He's lying entirely. What I saw was little anime children getting plowed by giant horses. He thinks he's defending himself, but he's not.
Non-pornographic canon images of Rauru from The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which is funny because there are far more pornographic images of Rauru in there than there are non-pornographic images. But honestly, Rauru just looks so good that even non-pornographic images feel pornographic to me. Yeah, an innately pornographic character design.
It's a goat. Eventually, Vaush's chat would pressure him into addressing the lolly.
Of the images that showed, 2 of them were from the same artist. 2 of them, those from that artist turned out to be a lolicon. One of the 2 images...
He's making it sound like there's only 2 pieces of lolly. No, there's tons. There's only 2 from that artist.
I can't show to defend myself, nor would I encourage you to go look it up because this is a lolicon artist, so I don't, like, want to direct you to that, you know? But one of the 2 images from this lolicon artist, okay? To be clear, one of them flatly did not look like lolicon. I'm sorry, you can say it's defensive. I think that's bullshit. I literally went back and looked. The chick is like 6 heads tall.
It's a sexualized version of this VTuber's avatar, made by a famous lolly artist who Vaush has declared not lolly because of her height. The other pictures in Vaush's folder are also way creepier.
The other one is like a threesome with 2 chicks and a guy. And in retrospect, looking at it, knowing now that that artist is a lolicon, yeah, I can see it.
Oh, that's how you know it's real bad.
When I looked at it, I think the vibe that I got was like short stack, thick kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like the way like goblins get drawn in porn.
The fuck? He says that like his community can relate. It also doesn't explain the 20 worst photos on his hard drive.
It was intended to be a lolly drawing. So like, that's how it is, right? It's a drawing. You get it without context. I know that when I saved them because both the drawings have like a meaty dick in it, and I'm a huge size queen.
Ah, see, he didn't save it because of the little girls. He saved it because of the massive cock on their face. Vaush is innocent.
Here's no cock like horse cock. Send your asshole into shock.
I was really confused about the amount of horses in Vaush's folder. They're all plowing little girls, but I didn't realize it was because Vaush wanted to be the horse.
I want to f a woman as a horse.
So you want to be the horse banging the little girl. We should have known there was something weird going on when Vaush replaced the Sistine Chapel painting with himself and a horse for his Twitter banner. He has loads of messages over the years about horse cock.
People, you know, and this is one of those, like, it's one of those, like, you know, everyone shirks now, but if a human had a horse penis, you know, just somehow, whatever, people would be lining up to fuck them. So I feel like it would actually kind of fucking rock, you know, because maybe only 1% of people can take you, but those people will live to take you. They'll travel across the world. They'll buy you, chicks will buy you dinner. They'll fucking sit on your side of the booth so they can have their hand on your fucking 12-inch flaccid dick.
Now, a grown man fantasizing about wanting to be a horse is sad, but what's even sadder is his defense against Ethan. He reverts to crying, acting like they were longtime friends.
Let this be a sterling example of how right I was to be incredibly disposed against reaching out to people or making friends or engaging with others, because damn, dude, like, of all of the people who I thought I was solid with, Ethan Klein was pretty far up there. This is out of the blue for me. So maybe it's an autism thing. Maybe I can't read the signs. I don't know. You make a friend, but it turns out there's almost always more clout to be found than performatively tearing you down.
Maybe Ethan should look into how much Vaush took his side in the whole Hassan thing. I don't give a f about that.
Who cares?
Dude, what? And even if like that's true, let's say I'm grateful that he defended me against Hassan, then I'm like, yo, just because this guy is a kind of like defending child pornography, he was nice to me that one time, so... Yeah. I'm going to let it slide.
He said it's very disheartening. I thought I had something of a friend in Ethan. That's a new message. Yeah.
Based on what?
Vaush's other argument for why Ethan shouldn't criticize him is that it's an election year.
The main thing I'm concerned with is, frankly, there's just a lot of people in Ethan's audience who I think have the wrong idea about me. And I think that some of them might be pulled over. You know, not all. The well's been pretty poisoned, but some of them. And I think it's important to do that, not only because it's beneficial to me from an obvious career perspective, no denying that, but also because it's an election year, you know, all hands on deck. It is going to get bad.
Yeah, Joe Biden's going to lose the election this year because of Vaush's porn folder. That's why we can't talk about it. H3 would do another live stream addressing every criticism from Vaush and bring a mountain of receipts to back him up. You'd think Vaush would at the least admit that his CP argument was stupid, but no, he can't admit he's wrong about anything. Vaush's response was to say that Ethan's lying, but never showed how he lied.
Caught bits of the stream today, and blood was waffling. You know, this is one of those situations where you have to appreciate the fact that I must be pretty great for people to have to lie that much and that aggressively to try to take me down, you know? I must be pretty cool, actually. Not everyone will agree, of course, but that's why you have to take some time. The whole point of a character assassination is to construct an environment in which any accusations can't really be defended against, right? It wouldn't be much of a character assassination if you could undo it by saying the truth after, right? If that was the case, why would anyone do a character assassination if it could be undone so quickly?
It should be that easy.
Vaush was threatening to post the DMs from you too. He did post those DMs. They made him look bad.
No, they do not. The DMs are Ethan asking Vaush if he wants to come on after Vaush asked to come on. Vaush crying to Ethan about not reaching out first. Then Vaush inviting Ethan on his stream. Ethan accepts it. And then Vaush takes back his invitation to debate. He would post on Discord that he's backing out of the debate because Ethan's acting in bad faith. If Ethan's acting in bad faith, then show how he's doing it. I've done it to many people over the years. He doesn't because Ethan's coming from a sound place. Vaush screaming bad faith is just him begging his audience to dismiss Ethan. Vaush's final defense was to claim that Ethan's making Nazi arguments.
All I know is that it's either complete nonsense or fully encapsulated by stuff that we've been debunking for literal years in this channel. There's functionally no difference, at least not, you know, morally or experientially, between this and any other time Nazis have gotten rowdy about me. You know, it's just people in chat, I think, are acting differently because some of you guys like or liked Ethan, which is fine, and I understand that. That being said, you can't harsh my vibe, guys. You know, it burns a lot of calories sitting here being right all the time.
This guy wants to f his lizard, and one of the geckos will run down and jump off my dick. Like they're giving me a full body hand job. I put a gecko on my dick for a picture once, and it licked it. And then in the same conversation he says, yeah, consent is irrelevant for animals. Even pets get no say in being locked up, taken away, fixed, or euthanized. I don't think bestiality should be a crime. He's graping his pets. The droopiness of his cat's butthole has me worried. The Nazis are winning this one, dude. A broken clock is right twice a day. His chat would beg him to engage. Vaush says no.
Vaush, this shit just annoys me because it could be literally disproven by taking 10 minutes out of your day to... Yes, that's what lies are. This isn't a product of poor research. It's just, it's lying. I think me and chat just really want this to be something that could be resolved if someone just sat Ethan down and showed the facts. No.
Wow, for something that's so easy to do, he sure won't do it. He then starts timing people out for talking about it.
You know, you all need to get it out of your system now, because I will be muting you people for continuing to drama farm in chat when we're playing Valheim. This one is a bigger... Alright. Okay, you're right. No amount of speeches will dispel you guys from wanting to whine. Mutes it is. Benjamin, if you do that again, you too.
The title of the stream is Post H3 Podcast After Party, but he won't engage with a single point. It's the title of your show. But even weirder are the people defending him.
Need you hentai. You've always been in my life.
The three prominent creators defending Vaush are Keffels, Tipster, and Jalen. They called Ethan bad faith and accused him of taking things out of context. When asked what context is missing, they would pearl clutch about irrelevant topics.
How often are you being accused of being a pedo that you need a nickname for it? If the jacket fits, you must not acquit. Ethan, I don't know if you realize how optically bad what you just said looks. This looks f***ing terrible, Ethan. You are talking to a community of people, the LGBTQ community, which are very regularly accused of being pedophiles and groomers constantly being accused of these things. And you're going to ask them the question, how often are you being accused of being a pedo that you need a nickname for it?
This guy got in trouble for lolly. Can you tell?
It's a very contentious topic, to say the least. And I think the thing that I hate the most about this topic is it's almost 1 year to the day that I had a fight with the YouTube commentary people revolving around a similar topic.
I literally have Ethan's phone number. He gave it to me. I'll try to call him later. Do not f***ing call me. I don't remember giving you my phone number. I don't remember talking to you on the phone, but do not f***ing call me, please.
Do you want to know the context of that?
What's the context?
It was back when Twitter circles was still a thing. And I was suicidal. It was before I went to rehab. And he saw a Twitter circle where I was talking about how I wanted to just fucking end it. And he reached out and gave me his phone number. That's what the context was.
Damn.
Piece of shit. It's like really f***ed up with the context that I have his phone number because I was planning to kill myself. And now it's just like a big joke laughing at me.
Crazy. So again, what did Ethan take out of context in relation to Vaush? They don't have anything, so they start taking Ethan out of context.
He says, I watch Lolly, and people who watch Lolly want to f kids. Therefore, I want to f kids. Like, it's like a clean equation. I will happily dab up with the Nazis. You gotta get a life.
Think about horse cock.
Tacoma's weeping right now, bro.
Wow, you're bringing up the horse DMs from 2018. Really? Really? You want to play that game? All right.
I don't think Felix is a racist person. He really kind of just was really comfortable using that word.
Play that game.
It's a wonderful.
Wow, Ethan, what the fuck? Dude, you should get a life. Why are you saying the N-word and the F slur? That's not okay. You're not black. You're not gay. Wow, you homophobic racist? Dude, what's wrong with you? That's so fucked duh. D2 can play that game.
Jalen, Vaush is doing this stuff today. It's still on his computer. Jalen has loads of tweets saying Lolly is bad, but not when Vaush does it for some reason. And I'm still waiting. What was taken out of context by Ethan? Nobody has an example. It also just doesn't look good that these people have tons of skeletons in their closet. Jalen is friends with someone who has inappropriately messaged minors.
But did the Natty Forceps individual ask the child for nudes on Snapchat? Even in a, if you say joke, whatever, did that happen? Yes.
Tipster is like Lolly in the past, and Keffels ran a Catboy Ranch Discord that had alleged grooming in it. She admitted she was in the Discord and ran a Twitter account of the same name. I'm not saying these people are guilty of anything, but I am saying it's a shame this is Vaush's defense team. Not to mention the hypocrisy of them calling Kima Pedo in 2022 over and over again for dating someone who is of age is palpable.
I love hentai. It helps me control my rape tendencies.
Vaush thinks this is hot. Vaush is a deep dark rabbit hole. His career started with him harassing a girl over Discord. Destiny had to kick him out of his community for it.
Poppy is not worth apologizing to. She is barely worth the intrinsic human rights to which all human beings are endowed, okay? She is a disgusting human being. And that doesn't mean what I did wasn't wrong. It does mean I will never apologize to her. But I would love to have her on stream sometime, because she is a nervous, anxious, neurotic liar, and it would be really, really easy to reduce her to a sobbing mess publicly. Would this make me look better in the public eye? No, it would make me look worse. But it would be very satisfying.
He has taken Destiny out of context, actually out of context, and then pushed false allegations.
When he was doing his, like, apologia arc and, like, laughing and saying that, like, a woman who was raped was a retarded child.
What he's crying about now, he actually did in his past. There is so much more to talk about, but that will have to be for another video. Subscribe to the channel. Also, be sure to check out Aura in the description. Shout out to the homies over on Patreon: Phoebes, Crimson Glass, Christina Vina, Mac Monkey, Drain Kobex, Necro Valley, Stefan Bildman, Abby Blackbird, Eddie Bizzle, Tiz McFit, Christopher H, Kanklemore, Sarah Muma, and the mega homies: Reynolds Hughes Hellison, IGP, Cone, Zombie Fox, Your Taxi, Latchkey Gothboy, Cyber Katie, Lori Loaded, Papa Gut, Caden Lulin, Luis G, Exo Irish Exo, BA Subway, TV Anthology Reviews, Hawk and Load, Zerophonic, and Derek Dew.